Guys, this Civic, the Lambo Killer Civic, is absolutely too fast for the streets. No Lamborghini on the street would stand a chance against this car, and we want to be a little bit more fair. This car has escalated pretty quickly and it's kind of turned into more of a race car. So again, if I go and I race some Lamborghini and it has heat, AC, cruise control, all-wheel drive, maybe one turbo, maybe two turbos, and we go and we rip on it in a Civic, I would just feel kind of bad. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna give all the Lamborghinis a chance by building another car which is the same but slightly different.
Same, but different, but still same.
What's up, guys, and welcome back to the channel. We are sitting in potentially one of the faster cars that is going to be on the channel in the next couple weeks, which is my new project car. This is a 2002 Acura RSX Type S. So you can tell because the tach goes to 8,000 RPMs. I purchased this thing probably 2 or 3 months ago and I got a pretty good deal. I think that's pretty much how all of my, marketplace purchases kind of start. But this color is interesting. It's like a black with a little bit of a blue, like pearl metallic in it, and 02, so it has the headlights that kind of dip down a little bit right here. And this one is actually pretty cool because it has the factory like A-spec kit with the fog lights, which was just like an option from the dealer. So overall the body is pretty clean, but it definitely has a lot of little paint imperfections. You can see obviously the paint faded off right here. Previous owner did a little bit of like a plasti dip slash bodywork job for some reason, so I don't know exactly what is up with that. Essentially in this video we're gonna go ahead and get this thing painted, and in order to get it painted we got to get it washed. So one of the first steps in painting a car is completely degreasing it. Try to get all of the, you don't know if somebody did like some wash and wax, some ceramic coat, some carnauba wax. Paint doesn't like to stick with that, and so the best thing that you could do to kind of start off your paint job on the right foot is to completely get rid of all the waxes, all the other crap, and then actually wash the panels really nice, so that way you could see what you're actually working with. Also, I think this trunk has, this little spoiler on the trunk has some plasti dip stuff on it too. We are obviously going to be doing some power, and then we might be adding some things to the rear to make it not spin a little bit, because obviously that is a little bit of an issue. So yeah, without further ado, let's keep cleaning this thing. All right, so it is all washed, so we're gonna go ahead and pull it inside. This car definitely has its own set of problems. The interior seat could leave a little bit to be desired, but overall the interior isn't in bad shape. It has 168,000 miles on it. A little bit of shifter bushing, but probably the main thing is engine mounts. Engine mounts. It sounds like the engine actually wants to come out of this thing. some reason, this door handle doesn't do anything. So I'm also working on this side. Basically what they did is they vinyl wrapped. The clear coat started fading right here, but it wasn't fading right here. So they did vinyl wrap to right here, because, you know, then you wouldn't be able to tell. But it's just funny because the clear is good under where it was vinyl, but then it just continued where it was gonna continue anyhow. This vinyl has definitely been on here for a couple years, so I'm actually having to use the magic eraser wheel. I was able to peel kind of the bottom section, but the top section is still. So it's been a day and a half since I got this thing all stripped down, and now the body work is done. Josh, what did you do?
Did the body work.
You did it. He just came out here and just did it. I circled all the dents, and he's like, hey, do you want me to fix the dents that you didn't circle? And I was like, what do you mean? I thought I circled all the dents.
The ones you missed.
The ones that I think there was a couple. There might have been maybe one or two. We would have caught them eventually. Kind of the worst part on this whole car is right here. Like, I guess the hood didn't shut, and they literally just like pushed on it, and there's like ripples. Little ding here, little ding here. Clear bra got removed off of the fenders. It actually came off pretty decent. Danner's over here prepping a little bit of stuff on the roof. The roof was actually what, like Rust-Oleum?
Yeah, it was Rust-Oleum for sure.
I don't know what process they were using when they were doing this. It looks like they used like a grinder to like 36 it and then like try to do something else. But yeah, you could even see like around that antenna, just the level of crud. The bad thing about Rust-Oleum is if you paint over it with like real paint, then it like lifts it, it wrinkles it, it does a bunch of stuff. Sometimes it doesn't if it's been on there for like years. If it's been done within the last like year or so, it just does weird stuff. So obviously the whole car is pretty much getting high build primer, and then we'll get blocked down. But yeah, it's making some good progress. All the dents were just tiny little ripply things. It's coming out, coming out. Josh came out here and got the RSX in primer yesterday, and since it's so hot, like it was like freaking, I think it was like probably 90 degrees in this side of the shop today, we're already gonna start blocking it. Basically, we're gonna prime the whole thing twice. So you can see right here, we have one little low spot. We found that, you know, in the primer. That's our guide coat. Right here, this quarter actually pretty much blocked out most of the way, other than a couple little tiny spots. But again, that's why we're using, you know, 2 coats of primer. So this was the OEM quarter panel paint, and then this is where they had the Rust-Oleum. We sanded all that stuff off and then just put it in primer, but you can see all the low spots. And this is my favorite piece, like part about primer, is this. Like the satisfying thing where you see that, this was the first block. So like you can see right here, that's what it looks like with, you know, the guide coat on it. And you just sand that off. You can see there's like a little, maybe tiny baby low spot. And you just sand that all back until it's all like uniform gray, or, you know, at least kind of smoothed out. But then like this section right here, this is gonna be nice. You guys ready for this? You could already see it straightening it out. So that's actually the OEM paint underneath that. We're getting an important phone call. I'll get back to you in a minute. King is back. Finally got to lay down some primer. Josh did the first round. I was able to kind of squeak back in, get the second round of primer on this thing. And it's crazy because it is freaking hot. I feel like the primer pretty much dried instantly because it is so hot. So we're at like almost 100 degrees. The shop is pretty much an oven at this point. RSX making some good progress. We're gonna pull it outside, let it bake in the sun. Literally this thing it's gonna be ready to paint very soon. Somebody ever sells you an RSX and they tell you that it's clean, don't believe them, because even if an RSX looks beautiful on the internet in pictures, they do weird things where if anybody wrecks them in the front, nothing fits. This one luckily hasn't been wrecked in the front, so everything fits nice. Everything about them, I don't know if it was just because they were kind of cheap, but like this bumper, it had a crack basically like right here along this top seam. So what we did is we used a hot stapler and we stapled it back together. I V'd it out, you know, like if you're ever gonna weld like a piece of metal and it has a crack, normally what you do is you drill a hole in the crack to stop it in its tracks. You stop the crack in its tracks, then you V it out like a canal. Then what you do is you just fill that up and then level it out. We didn't do that with weld. We did that with a plastic bumper repair. It's not epoxy, it's a putty kind of, but it's 2K, it's SEM brand. It's pretty expensive. I think it was like $40 for a tube of it. Multi-plastic repair material, and it dual mix. Normally you have like a tip on here that like you squeeze it, and then it like mixes itself. It does this, it goes like in there. Nice. And it mixes itself. You wanna do that again? So look at that. It has all these, it's like a honeycomb in there, and it literally sits there and it goes. But you could also just use a little bit of aluminum tape on the tip of it. You know, keep it. Oh! You ooze it out and then you just mix it together with a little plastic thing, and then you just nice. Good to go. So the RSX is pretty much ready to spray, minus just like, you know, a couple little edges, but it is pretty much ready to spray. But before we close out this video, I want to show you guys the color that we actually chose. So for the base, we're actually doing a tri-stage, basically a black blueberry candy is what we're gonna call it. So I just have some standard black base coat in the paint gun right now, and we're gonna go ahead and do a spray out card with some blue pearl over the top of it, and it's gonna look freaking sick. Because of the amount of pearl that's in the mid coat, if we do one coat, it might be really black. If we do two coats, it might be perfect. And if we do three coats, it might just be blue, like the whole thing. And then it, you know, then it kind of negates that like midnight blue that we're trying to like hit with this color. So in the booth right now, I have a spray out card right here. And so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna paint this whole card black. And then what I'm gonna do is with the pearls, is I'm gonna put another card on it and I'm gonna mask it off. So I'm gonna do one coat up there, take it off, move it down, do two coats. So then this has two coats, this only has one coat, then I'll take it off again, move it down. So I have 3, 2, and 1 coats, and we'll be able to see what one looks the best or which one I like the most. And then we also have this little speed shape right here. I'm gonna paint this black and then do the same thing over it as well. So that way we can kind of see how it reflects the light and how like all the shadows and stuff do. So it's gonna be a really cool color. So we're gonna go ahead and just spray this real quick. Hey, bring that thing out here. Let's take it for a rip. So this is the mid coat. So normally when you do like a candy, you put down like a silver and then you do like a blue mid coat in it. So normally, okay, a candy, a standard candy, I would say, like a candy apple red. You would do a base silver metallic, and then you would do a red mid coat over it, and that candy would build up and the layers would get darker and darker as you went up. Similar to what the paint on the back of my Supra is. You could do candy blues like that, but essentially you start with a metallic base. Kind of what we're doing now is we did a black base, but we are doing a blue mid-coat pearl. So looking at this thing, you could barely even tell that it has any like, or it just looks kind of like, I don't know, looks
murky.
Looks like spit or
something else.
something else. But
I don't know about that,
take
pal.
take a look at this. We'll just put. Can you see that?
Yeah.
Can you see what that just did?
Uh-huh.
Just spraying out a smidge. Look at that. You messed up.
Look what you fucking did.
Buddy, that's more, I could have painted a mirror with that. I've been hanging out with you, I guess.
Oh, fuck. All right.
Been hanging out with you too.
Come on. I don't fuck shit up.
You know what they say?
That's the one thing I don't
You
do.
hang out with 3 millionaires, you'll be the 4th. You hang out with 4 losers, you'll be 4 losers, you'll be the 4th. I pretty much only hang out with you, so if I start messing, I pretty much start messing up. What's going on here, buddy? Never done this before. This has never happened. And now start hanging out with you. You're at the shop every day. Things just start going to hell, you know? Like, so everything
I
just.
appreciate that vote of confidence,
Thanks
pal.
for leaving this clip in this video too. 'Cause
Well, that's not
I know you want to delete it. I know you want to delete that clip.
I'm gonna.
Somebody thought in the last video that I was talking crap about Mitsubishi owners and 4Gs and stuff. And I was like, why did you cut out all the clips of me talking crap? And then you cut it right there. But I meant to, I was talking crap to you. I wasn't talking crap about Mitsubishis or Mitsubishi owners. He like made it sound like a Mitsubishi like 4G63 gang was gonna show up at my house or something because I was like saying things. I was like, buddy, I was talking about Charles. I wasn't talking about the 4G.
Hey, listen, in my job title says scapegoat, buddy.
Scapegoat,
so.
right there. All right, you ready? Look at that. Just murky pearls. That's all it is murky.
No, stop.
Alright, so I moved the little masking thing down a little bit, so now, do it again.
That's crazy.
So that's the difference between 1 coat and 2 coats. I feel like if we do 3, it's just gonna be blue. I think it's gonna be hard to do it in 1 coat and get it completely even because every single pass is gonna be hard. But in the shade, it just looks black, and then in the light, it looks blue, and then dark blue, and then like a little bit darker blue. So what do you guys think? 1 coat, 2 coats, or 3 coats?
I don't know. That's a hard decision.
I don't know. I mean, honestly, I kind of do like the 1 coat because I think that it keeps it dark. And then you see that flop of the blue, whereas I think when we're getting into this, then we're just getting into blue. Like then the car is just gonna be blue. We're gonna think about it. We might end up reducing it a little bit more, just adding some more DBC 500 or basically that clear binder to that to kind of reduce it. So that way I can put 2 coats on it and it will look more like the 1 coat. I'm just scared that if I only have 1 coat to put it on, that I'm not gonna get it as even as we should. So if you guys are stoked on this RSX project, be sure to leave a comment, let me know. I'm pretty stoked on it. We have some cool plans for it, but appreciate you guys watching. See you later.